To understand these coins, we must first travel back to 1909, the year the Lincoln wheat cent was introduced to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse featured Lincoln's profile, making it the first U.S. coin to depict an actual person. The 1951 Liberty Wheat penny may seem like just another coin, but it's far more than that. It's a living artifact, minted during a pivotal time in American history, circulated through millions of lives, and preserved today by those who still treasure the past. Let's journey into the world of the 1951 wheat penny, its origin, its geographic journey, and its lasting legacy. The Lincoln wheat penny, first introduced in 1909, marked a revolution in American coinage. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, President Abraham Lincoln, in honor of his 100th birthday. Its obverse bore Lincoln's right-facing profile. Its reverse displayed two stylized wheat ears, symbolizing agriculture and growth, flanking the words, 1 cent United States of America, and above that, e pluribus unum, Latin for out of many, one. This simple yet powerful design defined the penny from 1909 to 1958, after which it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial reverse. The 1951 Lincoln wheat penny stands near the end of that 50-year era, a copper echo of America's industrial rise and post-war spirit. In 1951, the United States stood at a crossroads. World War II had ended just 6 years earlier, and the nation had entered a period of peace, but also conflict abroad and change at home. The Korean War was in full force. Harry S. Truman was president. The Cold War was heating up with rising tensions between the U.S. and Soviet Union. At home, the economy was booming and a new suburban middle class was forming. The penny minted in this year would pass through the hands of factory workers, homemakers, teachers, and veterans, all shaping and living the American dream. The 1951 wheat penny was produced in 3 U.S. mint locations. Mintage, 284,076,000, located in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This was the first U.S. mint, dating back to 1792. Coins minted here have no mint mark. Mintage, 625 and 355,000, located in Denver, Colorado. This mint primarily supplied coinage to the western United States. Coins carry a small D below the date on the obverse. Mintage, 136 accounts 10,000. Based in San Francisco, California, the S mint was winding down penny production and would soon halt it altogether by 1955. These coins bear a small S mint mark. Foncia 45,941,000. This large production makes the 1951 penny common in both circulated and uncirculated form. The 1951 wheat penny retained the classic Brenner design, featuring bust of Abraham Lincoln. In God We Trust, at the top, Liberty. On the left, the year 1951, on the right, mint mark below the date, if applicable. 2 stalks of wheat, framing, 1 cent, United States of America. The motto, e pluribus unum, across the top. Composition, 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc diameter, 19.05 millimeters weight, 3.11 grams. Edge, plain. Newly struck, these coins gleamed with a vibrant, reddish copper hue, which darkens over time due to oxidation. The vast majority of 1951 pennies entered active circulation. They passed through the hands of students, soldiers, cashiers, and clerks, used for bus fares, bubblegum, and barbershop tips. Over time, these coins developed signs of use: flattened detail on Lincoln's face and coat smoothness in the wheat stalks, discoloration, ranging from rich brown to dark gray. Circulated Philadelphia, 0.03, 0.10, circulated Denver, 0.05, 0.15, circulated San Francisco, 0.10, 0.25. While not rare, circulated 1951 pennies hold nostalgic and educational value for collectors and historians alike. A fraction of the 1951 wheat pennies were never circulated. Saved in rolls, hoarded by collectors, or stored in mint bags, these coins remained untouched and preserved. These coins are graded using the Sheldon scale from MS-60 to MS-70 and categorized Bicolor bright original copper luster. Most desirable and valuable some oxidation. Mix of red and brown tones fully oxidized. Lower in value but still collectible. MS60. MS63. Red. $2. 5. MS64. Red. 8. 15. 9. MS65. Red. 20. $40. MS66. Red. $50. 100 plus. MS67. Red. Rare. $150. 500 plus, especially with third-party grading. Like PCGS or NGC, uncirculated coins from the San Francisco Mint may carry a small premium due to slightly lower production. While the 1951 wheat penny isn't famous for major errors, a few collectible varieties exist, especially common on 1951D and 1951S coins. Look for slight doubling of the D or S under magnification, doubling in the letters of Liberty, or In God We Trust valuable based on severity and condition. Error values can range from $5 to several $100, depending on the rarity and quality. The 1951 wheat penny is a favorite among beginner collectors due to affordability, set builders assembling every year in mint combination, 1909-1958, error hunters seeking RPMs and unique variations, historians reflecting mid-century American values in manufacturing. It also holds personal value for those born in 1951, often given as birth year keepsakes. More than 1 billion 1951 wheat pennies were struck. Most have worn down, many have vanished. But each remaining coin carries whispers of a world now gone, a time of vinyl records, rotary phones, and Cold War jitters. It was a penny passed from hand to hand, from coast to coast, silently marking history with every exchange. Whether brown with age or blazing with original red, the 1951 Liberty wheat penny is more than a coin. It's a copper capsule, a piece of our shared American journey. The next step. In the palm of your hand, a single coin can carry the weight of history. The 1952 Liberty wheat penny, simple in form but rich in story, connects us to a time of post-war change, American optimism, and Cold War uncertainty. With just 1 cent, we touch the fabric of the past. This is the story of the 1952 wheat penny, its origin, its production, and the legacy it left behind. Before we look closely at the year 1952, we must understand where the wheat penny began. In 1909, to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, the U.S. Mint released a new 1 cent coin. It was the first U.S. coin to feature an actual historical figure, a bold move at the time. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse showcased Lincoln's dignified profile. On the reverse, 2 graceful wheat stalks, curving inward toward the words 1 cent and United States of America. Above the Latin phrase e pluribus unum, out of many one. The design lasted until 1958, and each penny minted during this era became a copper witness to American life through 2 world wars, a depression, and the Cold War. The year 1952 found America in motion. The scars of World War II were fading, but a new conflict, the Korean War, was raging abroad. At home, Harry S. Truman was in the final year of his presidency, soon to be succeeded by Dwight D. Eisenhower. The U.S. was booming. Families moved to the suburbs. Televisions became household staples, and children played in streets lined with Chevrolets and bicycles. Amid all this change, copper pennies jingled in pockets and cash registers, quietly marking the passage of time. In 1952, the U.S. Mint produced wheat pennies at 3 locations, each with its own geographic and historic significance. Mintage, 186,956,980. Roll, the original mint, located in the birthplace of American independence. These coins bear no mint mark. Mintage, 746,130,000. The Denver Mint had grown into the workhorse of U.S. coin production, meeting demand from the western and central states. Mintage, 137,804. Once known as the Granite Lady, the San Francisco Mint was phasing out its penny production, just a few years before ceasing it entirely in 1955. In total, over 1 billion 1952 wheat pennies were minted, a reflection of post-war economic expansion and everyday commerce. The design of the 1952 Liberty wheat penny remained unchanged from its original form. Obverse, front. Abraham Lincoln, facing right, with Liberty on the left, the date 1952 on the right, and a mint mark below the date if applicable. Reverse, back, the iconic wheat ears curving around 1 cent and United States of America. These coins were made of 95% copper, with 5% tin and zinc. Each penny weighed 3.11 grams and measured 19 millimeters in diameter. When freshly minted, they displayed a bright, fiery red color, which fades over time into shades of brown unless carefully preserved. Most 1952 pennies entered active circulation, used for everyday purchases. A penny might buy a piece of candy, pay part of a bus fare, or rest at the bottom of a child's piggy bank. Over time, coins became worn. Lincoln's cheek would flatten. The wheat stalks lost their definition. Oxidation would turn the bright red copper to muted brown. In circulated condition today, a 1952 penny typically holds modest value. Philadelphia, 3 to 10 cents, Denver, D, 5 to 15 cents, San Francisco, S, 10 to 25 cents. These values depend on wear, color, and collector demand. But some 1952 pennies were never spent, set aside in rolls, preserved in mint bags, or placed in albums by collectors. These are the uncirculated wheat pennies, and they shine with original mint luster. Uncirculated coins are graded on a scale from MS-60 to MS-70. Their value depends on color and grade. Bright red copper with full mint luster, most desirable and highest in value. A mix of original red and toned brown surfaces. Fully oxidized copper, lower value but still collectible. Estimated values as of 2024, MS-60, MS-63 red, $3, $8 MS-64, MS-65 red, $10, $25 MS-66 red, $40, $100 plus, MS-67 red, especially Denver or San Francisco, $150, $300 plus. Coins graded and certified by PCGS or NGC can command higher premiums. Though 1952 has no widely known major varieties like the famous 1955 double die, collectors still seek out minor errors, repunched mint marks, RPMs, especially for 1952D and 1952S. Die cracks and die chips, off-center strikes struck through debris, double dies, minor. These error coins are prized by specialists and can sell for $10 to $200 or more, depending on rarity and condition. The 1952 wheat penny is more than a collectible. It's a historical artifact. It was minted in a year when the U.S. was building highways, fighting wars, and dreaming big. It's a coin from the dawn of rock and roll of Ike Eisenhower and of the TV generation. It's part of the last decade of the wheat penny era, which ended in 1958. As such, each coin represents a tangible link to a world that, while not ancient, is fast fading from memory. For collectors, the 1952 wheat penny offers an affordable entry point into numismatics. Whether you're assembling a full date and mint set of wheat cents or searching for high-grade uncirculated coins, 1952 provides a challenge in finding red mint state examples, affordable bulk coins for beginners, historical significance from a pivotal year. Many collectors aim to own all three mint marks, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, each telling a slightly different story of mid-century minting. The 1952 Liberty wheat penny is not a rare coin, but its value lies not only in scarcity, but in symbolism. It is a copper time capsule, a 1-cent monument to a year of transformation. So the next time you hold a 1952 wheat penny in your hand, consider this. It's not just change. It's history, pressed in copper, passed through generations, and still shining, over 70 years later. Would you like me to convert this into a printable PDF, a video narration script, or include visuals for presentation? Let me know how you'd like to use it. The last step, it weighs just over 3 grams, it's worth 1 cent. And yet this small copper coin has carried in its surface a century of American change. The 1956 Liberty wheat penny, a common coin in numbers, but a poignant emblem of The past now was minted in the waning days of a classic design and in a time of rapid national transformation. Join us as we explore the history, geography, circulation, and condition of the 1956 wheat penny, one of the last of its kind. The wheat penny, officially known as the Lincoln wheat cent, first entered circulation in 1909 to mark the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, a groundbreaking choice. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it combined a proud Lincoln profile on the obverse, front, two sheaves of wheat arching inward on the reverse, back, symbolizing agricultural strength and national unity. The design remained virtually unchanged for 50 years until 1958, when it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Reverse. That means 1956 belongs to the final chapter of the wheat reverse's historic run. The United States in 1956 was vibrant, energetic, and heading into the space age. President Dwight D. Eisenhower was re-elected that year. Rock and roll was taking over the airwaves with Elvis Presley, and television was now in most American homes. The economy was booming. Suburbs were expanding. The Cold War loomed over politics, but on the ground, the American dream seemed closer than ever. Amid this cultural and political mix, the 1956 wheat penny was minted, quietly, steadily, and in vast quantities, as a background player in the story of daily life. The 1956 wheat penny was minted at two U.S. mint facilities, Philadelphia and Denver. The San Francisco Mint, once a key player, had ceased penny production after 1955. Mintage, $420,745,000. The oldest U.S. mint, located in the city of American Independence. These coins have no mint mark. Mintage 1,098,201,100. A powerhouse of post-war coinage, the Denver Mint handled over 1 billion pennies that year. Combined, the mintage of 1956 pennies exceeded 1.5 billion coins, making this one of the most common wheat penny years in American history. In terms of design, the 1956 penny continued the tradition set in 1909, obverse, front, Abraham Lincoln facing right, flanked by the word Liberty on the left and the date 1956 on the right. The Denver Mint coins carry a small D beneath the date. Reverse, back, two wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America, topped by the motto, E pluribus unum. 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc weight, 3.11 grams, diameter, 19 millimeters. When freshly minted, these coins had a brilliant red-orange luster, but over time, exposure to air and handling turned many into dull brown or red-brown tones. The 1956 wheat penny saw widespread use across all 48 U.S. states. It passed from factory workers to school children, soldiers to store clerks. Most were handled daily, stored in pockets, dropped in vending machines, and worn down by decades of exchange. In circulated condition, you'll typically find flattened details on Lincoln's cheek, jaw, and coat, weak lines on the wheat stalks, brown or red-brown toning from oxidation. Today, circulated 1956 pennies are very common and inexpensive, often valued at 3 to 10 cents for Philadelphia issues, 5 to 15 cents for Denver minted coins. Some 1956 wheat pennies, however, were never spent. They were saved in original rolls, stored in mint bags, or preserved by collectors. These coins remain in uncirculated condition, with no signs of wear and varying degrees of natural luster. Collectors classify them by color and grade. Full original. Luster, no oxidation. Most desirable for investment and display. Partially oxidized but still retaining some original tone. Fully oxidized, but still sharp in detail. Grading scale, MS60 to MS70, MS60, MS63, red, $2 to $5, MS64, red, 7 to 15, MS65, red, $20 to $40, MS66, MS67, red, $50 to over $200, especially for flawless Denver examples. Top-graded coins certified by PCGS or NGC and MS67RD can command premium prices, particularly among registry collectors. While not a major variety year, the 1956 wheat penny still has some interesting minor errors and minting quirks sought after by specialists. Repunched mint mark, RPM, most often seen on 1956 D pennies. Look for a faint second D underneath the main one. Die cracks and chips, small raised lines or blobs caused by worn dies off-center strikes, misaligned coins with part of the design missing struck through errors, where a piece of debris or grease causes blank spots or ghostly patterns. Some error coins can be worth $20 to several $100s. Depending on rarity and condition, 1956 was part of the final trilogy of wheat penny years, 1956, 1957, and 1958. In 1959, the mint introduced a new reverse design featuring the Lincoln Memorial, commemorating the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The wheat ears, symbols of labor, agriculture, and unity, were retired. The wheat penny became a relic of an earlier America, rural, grounded, and modest. The 1956 wheat penny remains a favorite among beginner collectors for its affordability and availability error hunters, especially looking for RPM set builders who seek every date and mint mark combination, historians who see it as a bridge between the post-war boom and the coming social revolutions of the 1960s. Though common, it holds symbolic value, a farewell to the classic American cent. It may only be worth a cent, or a few dollars in pristine condition, but the 1956 Liberty wheat penny is a window into America's past. It has passed through the hands of a generation born into war and growing into prosperity. It has witnessed the rise of Elvis, the election of Eisenhower, and the golden age of television. Today, it continues to shine, in albums, in jars, and in the hearts of collectors everywhere, because history isn't always found in books or museums. Sometimes, it's in your pocket. Would you like this adapted into a printable PDF, narration script with timestamps, or PowerPoint presentation? I can also create visual elements like coin charts or comparison tables to go along with it.